All righty, boys and girls, we are back. The RDN Roller Show, World Skate Inline Hockey Championships Edition in Rockarasso. The boys are back. We got 2 episodes for you this week. We got Merrigan, as usual. USA just smoked Canada 8-rip. I don't think there was any, surprise about that. But, let's talk about the Namibia game versus Sweden. Unreal. Chinese Taipei versus Italy.
Good game.
Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Namibia just they're like shocking everybody, right? But they had a pretty solid junior team a couple years ago, and it's all those same kids, and they're playing a good box as much as it sucks, and they're frustrating teams, and they're converting on their chances that they do get. I think they only had like 10 shots in the game.
Yeah.
And they scored on 2 of them. So they're just converting on their chances and they're pissing teams off because they're sitting back. Their goalie made some pretty good saves. And Sweden, honestly, you had said it in the last podcast, Sweden looked pretty damn good. I thought, in the games that I saw. So
yeah, I thought Sweden was the better team. Skill-wise, I think Sweden had more skilled players.
100%.
But Namibia why can't I say it right?
Namibia?
I can't say
Namibia.
that. Yeah, I can't say it. Anyways, they just played better as a team and they took better opportunities and their chances to score. They do got very skilled players as well too, but I just think they played better as a team than Sweden did. But Sweden does have some very skilled players. Both the goalies, stood on their head. I'm gonna mess up this last name, but Vanderplas and Agren are one goalie for Sweden, one goalie for Namibia were just unbelievable. Both of them stood on their head, I thought. And, that 2-1 game with, 1:47 left?
Yeah, they scored the right timing where it's just enough time. And how about this? Namibia missed 2 empty net chances, one off the post, and then one he just kind of muffined. If I was a coach, I'd be losing my marbles if I had 2 empty net chances and they should have been short goals. It's not like they were taking a 100-foot shot.
He dished it across too.
Why just bury that thing? Rip that thing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Rip that thing.
All right. Well, let's get into the quarterfinals real quick. Let's lay it out. We had Czech and Argentina going at it in the first game. I don't think there was really any doubt about who was going to win this game. I think everybody knew that Czech was going to, just by how many, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
10-rip, they ended up winning, which it could have been way higher. I mean, they just rolled that game in the way that Czech passes the puck, or Czechia, the way that they pass that puck is unbelievable. On the power play, it's just so fluid and so smooth, which is just crazy to watch. Then you had Sweden and Namibia, Italy versus Chinese Taipei. And I've always asked this, why do we call it Chinese Taipei when it's like
they had a separation of something from Taiwan.
But they even call themselves Taiwan. So I feel
the roller hockey account calls it Taiwan hockey, or Taiwanese hockey, something like that. But I don't know. But they're on there as Chinese Taipei.
Yeah. So. And then you got USA versus Canada, the old rival. So we talked about the Czech-Argentina game. We'll talk a little more about that Sweden game, I guess. But like I was saying, I thought the Sweden team had the more skilled players.
Oh yeah, they were zipping the puck around too. When they gained possession in the Namibia zone, they were passing it around. They just I was explaining this to a few people. Is the big rink does help the better skating teams and the better teams, but when your team boxes in between the 2 circles, like you can see behind us, wherever it is, where else are you going to go? You can't use the outside of the rink. It makes no sense because you have no lane to the net. The net's being smaller. You don't have a high chance to just kind of throw one on. There's really nowhere to go. So when teams box, if you don't if you don't have someone blowing an assignment, then you really don't get good looks. Even USA in their couple games where they played Chinese Taipei, they were boxing. They're taking shots from outside the zone just to try to get something on net, get something weird on. So I think Namibia just did a good job of that, and that's why they won, honestly. And they converted on 2 kind of breakdowns, and that was it.
Yeah, like I said, they're a smarter team in that sense too. They took their chances and
they were 100% smart.
Valeric Hilbert, he's the guy that scored the game winner. He also scored the game winner in the game before against France as well too. So kids on a roll. Kid's hot.
Watch out, Czech. Watch out, Czech.
Dude, that game is going to be a good game just because obviously Czech's the favorite. They're the more skilled team. It's just an uphill battle. And it's not like we haven't seen it in Slovakia's junior men's team when the
Yeah.
Slovaks came from all the way from what, Pool C to win
Yeah.
the championship. This will be a Cinderella story if that happens.
If they pulled off, and even I mean, honestly, let's call it spade a spade. If they keep it close,
Yeah.
that is a fucking victory for Namibia.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
But
let's call it spade a
I mean,
spade.
I wouldn't even like why count it close? Like they're in the semifinals. They should have all the confidence in the world too, going into that.
Yeah, I agree. I get you, but like Czechia, I feel like is just gonna where Sweden didn't bury. I feel
Yeah.
like Czechia is gonna bury.
Yeah.
Because they've been there before, right? They're not getting to this gold medal game, is what I'm saying.
No, you're 100% right. I'm not saying that Czech's gonna win, but I am saying like can't
Let's
write
pull
them
for
off.
Namibia.
Yeah,
Pull
you
for
can't.
Namibia.
Hey, you can't write them off, man. All right, and the next quarterfinal that we had was Italy versus Chinese Taipei, or you could call them Taiwan, as Rob Woods would say. And
It was a great game.
good game. Italy's home advantage with that horn. That horn is fucking insane. You got to get that horn out of here, maybe.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem in this next semifinals game. I'd be losing my mind watching it. But that home court advantage is huge. And I think that did at the end that played into their effect. Chinese Taipei was just fucking rolling. They were hot. They just couldn't bury.
The Italian goalie's always been good. He's been their goalie and backstopping them. When we played against him, also in Argentina, he played lights out and like he's been backstopping them for years. And you could just see to your point.
What is it? Mattia May?
Mattia May, yeah. They sometimes they like do play it was weird when we played them. I think they split the game honestly because it was so hot.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's like there. But Italy, like when they scored that second goal, was kind of like a scrum in front kind of play. They went off though, like that. They sellied so damn hard. Like the guy didn't even selly with the team. He just like skated right to the line and just went down.
Talking about Bellini, is that Andrea Bellini?
Bellini,
like
Bellini,
a little, like Viper thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's from Asiaga, right? Isn't
it's something
Vipers?
Like that.
That's why, yeah. So, but yeah, they went hard, and it was actually a really good game. Like it was like Chinese Taipei still boxed a little bit, but it was a little more open than we've seen them play like against USA and stuff like that.
I love watching international hockey. I love watching State Warriors, Palma Pro, Narch. I love it, right?
Yeah.
But this is like sometimes more entertaining to watch because of the way that they come at you. Like they don't like play a possession or a smart hockey game sometimes. It's literally pick up the puck and go. Pick up the puck and go. When you watch Czech, United States, that kind of play that more, traditional roller hockey, ice hockey style.
Possession, yeah.
Yeah, possession, smart play, set a breakup out, These two teams just go at it, and it makes it an entertaining game to watch. And I loved it. Like, that Italian and Chinese Taipei game was just right at each other. They were just no behind the net. It was just, all right, shot on net, goalie makes a blocker save, pick it up and go. Look for a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1, and they're out. So
yeah, the Chinese Taipei team can skate. Like we talked about the 3-wheel thing. There's got to be something behind it. I'm like convinced at this point. I was watching with one of my boys. He's like, "Is there something behind that? Like, I'm gonna try them out. There's got to be something behind it because they fly or they zip around the rink. Like,
yeah, we're lining up an interview with one of the boys. I've been talking to the Taiwan guy through the accounts.
Nice.
But one of the players, I'm gonna mess up his name, but number 9, he scored their only goal, which nasty goal, just walks in right around the goalie. Yu Haiseng Chow, number 9, kid's nasty. And I don't know if you saw it, but they took a picture with Eton and like all
I saw that. Yeah,
guys and everything, and it's cool just like to see the appreciation all these different countries have.
Great. Yeah.
And another thing I got to shout out to is there's a lady there. I think it's like Skater FX or something through Facebook that's been doing a lot of the highlights that we've reposted. She's from Australia and super nice lady. And I guess Team USA gave her a hat and gave her a shirt all signed by them. And she posted it on her Instagram and stuff. And she's like, this made me cry. So
she was like DMing us. Like, she's like, are you guys here? And we're like, no, we're not there. And she's like, damn, like I wanted to meet you guys. Like, it was pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
that she's like so dialed into it, reposting everything that you've like posted up as far as graphics go. So like pretty cool that like all these different countries. Like you said, it is cool sometimes watching the international because it is so different. Like the smaller nets and everything, like not just that on the rink, but like off the rink. It's such a cool vibe going to an international event. I said,
Yeah.
like, from day one, it's like the coolest thing you can do, like in this sport.
And so yeah, that game that, or I guess ending on that Chinese Taipei and that Italy game, moving on to United States versus Canada,
Yep.
which big rivalry game, right? Like I think everybody, if when you're just looking at USA versus Canada in hockey, you expect like it's going to be a great match. It should be
Oh,
a
yeah.
gold medal match, right? But I think I talked about this and we talked about this on the last pod. Canada didn't send their best team.
No.
Canada sent, they're like, we have love for all the boys that are on that team, and we're not chirping them. I hope they understand that. I'm really chirping the organization that's running it. So that is what it is. But
Yeah. And it again, like if you get asked to play, you're going to represent your country, right? It's like at the end of the day, it's more about like what is the recruitment process. It seems like just from what we're hearing, like a lot of people aren't even asked,
yeah,
right? Like
people
at the end
aren't
of the day,
asked, and
like
a lot of different kind of things going on with like funding,
yeah,
like you're Canadian hockey, and some of the players said it best. Like, no matter what, you guys they should be in top four, top three every single year. Just because that's the product they put out, and there's
look,
so many players
look
that
at their masters teams and stuff, right? They're still all competing at the highest level,
yeah,
and even the women's team like is still playing for medal games, right? And like the fact that they did rebound after that Mexico game. We've heard like several different
yeah.
scenarios.
Shout out to our
Like,
boy Matty Garb. We talked to him
yeah,
a lot, and he's one of the best guys in the sport.
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's
Man.
awesome. But yeah, with Team Canada playing this USA team, you didn't know it's their best. It's not their best Canada team and the best product they can
That's
put
it.
out. And that's the point. So USA
Biggest,
8-0, no big
yeah,
deal.
and biggest thing was USA scoring early. Canada couldn't play a box after like 2 goals, and that was it. Once they broke out of that box, you started seeing USA be dominant like they normally are. When they play against the box, it's always going to be a low scoring game just because, like I had mentioned earlier, just the system of how hard it is to break it. But once Canada came out of that box, USA just blew the doors open, and Eton's just that dude is on fire. He's on a damn mission. Like
Dude,
another 3 goal performance. Like my man just had like, hold my dick, like I'm just scoring. Like he didn't care. Like he's on a mission.
they are. And you know what? Shout out to the goalies, Troy Redmond and Mike Machinsky. The
Yeah.
boys are playing hot right now, and they're playing good. They're both dialed too. So when you watch them, like they don't get a lot of shots in these games they've had in the last couple
Which
of
is
games.
hard as a
Yeah.
goalie.
But like you see the saves that they're making. They're making quality saves. It's not just like getting a toe on it. They're getting their whole body on it. They're square
Oh
to the
yeah. They're reading it.
they're reading it, and they're so dialed, and they bring that A game. And I think, and we only can speak to this about USA and the teams we know, but just all of those players and how serious they take this and how really dialed in they are. And it's, you can tell, it runs through the whole team. So,
Yep.
um, 8-0 really wasn't expected. Probably expected like 12-0 to be honest with you, but no big deal. Tim and Greg, maybe we'll get a little more goals there.
And to get 4 more goals in there.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's move into the semifinal matchups. Okay. Um, Semifinals we could usually predict, but I don't think the World Championships have been predictable this year, which has been a great product for roller hockey and
Yeah.
speaks on what it is becoming. I gotta say, a shocker of the tournament so far is Spain and France. I
Not
figured they would be. I would figure they'd be one of the teams in this, or even in the quarterfinals. They're now like fighting for what, like seventh or eighth?
for relegation spots, like to
They're
not
in,
be relegated.
yeah, they're in the quarterfinal President's Cup, which you'll be relegated to the lower pools.
Yeah.
Um, France beats Spain 3-2. That means they're going down to, I mean, 10th or like
Yeah, they're going down to a CD pool.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like compared to what their junior women's team's done and their junior men's and their senior women's, like kind of crazy. Same with France. Didn't expect that, but it is what it is. It's the World Championships and
It was
Cinderella.
an OT, right? It was a 3-2 OT game.
Yeah,
So
that's some heartbreaker, man, right there. Like you got
yeah.
to feel for the guys there too, because those players playing. Spain's one of the top leagues as well as France. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's a heartbreaker right there. So, moving into the semifinals, you got Czech versus Namibia and USA versus Italy. I saw that stare when I said that name.
I was just making sure, making sure.
So in that Czech game versus that, Namibia game, that's going to be, they can't fall into the Czechs game, and that's kind of like hard to say, but they have to play their own game. If
Yeah,
the minute they play Czechs game, they're just going to work it around them with those passes, and they can shoot from the outside. This team can shoot anywhere,
yeah.
and they make fluid passes. So it's they really
The,
just can't, like, they got to play their game and what they've been playing the last two games where they rate for their chances and then go at it. They don't get hungry, they don't get excited, and I think that's the one thing that if they're gonna have any chance, that's their.
yeah. The biggest thing is like looking at the last game with Namibia, like 14 shots against Sweden. And I know that's not like the fewest amount. Like we just saw 9 from Canada, but like I don't know if you're gonna beat get 2 or 3 goals past Brabeck with only 14 shots. So they got to find a way to generate some more opportunity because Czech has been out shooting their games like 3-1 almost, right?
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to maybe draw up some offense when you have the puck because as much as Czech is good with the puck, like if you can catch them sleeping without the puck, that's your chance, and you have to convert on it, and it has to be a good play because you're not beating Brabeck from out. Like everyone knows, Brabeck on these small nets is a different beast. So you're not going to beat him from far. Yeah, so you got to beat him from like kind of 2-on-1s and fast plays. So that's going to be kind of the biggest challenge I think for Namibia is like how are they going to draw offense against this powerful Czech team? And for Czech, again, like you said, if they don't get out of their game, I think they win this game. I think we'd all agree with that. So I guess they just can kind of continue what they're doing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't get too excited. The one thing that I've seen from them is, after games, they love winning, throw the helmets,
Oh, yeah.
everything. You got to come in with that confidence. They got to play their game if they're going to have any chance. It's just this Czech team's a different beast. Top 2 in the world, they're one of the best. So,
yeah.
If I were to predict a score, 5-1 Czech.
Yeah, I'd say 5-6-1. No, it's funny you say that. When Namibia celebrates, did you notice one guy on the rink gets all their equipment for them? Like he doesn't celebrate. He like picks up the helmets and gloves so they don't lose anything. I think Darren commented on that. He said that guy's the real all-star because he's like making sure none of it shit gets mixed up with the other team.
Yeah, that's funny.
I thought that was pretty funny.
And then moving into the United States versus Italy semifinal game. This will probably be the better of the two. And honestly, this is going to be a banger of a game. The home team, USA's home in this one, but Italy.
The host country, yeah.
Yeah, the host country, they always get up to go. I remember watching that Argentina game when you guys played Argentina. That was the craziest crowd ever. That was insane. But I think
it's going to be similar, and I think USA is going to play with like half the guys on this USA team played on that Argentina team where we lost to Italy. So there's going to be a little bit of vengeance in that game because guys like Kraft, Siggy, Della,
Halverson,
Joey, Halverson, like all those guys are going to be playing with a little more of a chip on their shoulder because one, we know we got kind of boned in the game, and they don't want that to happen again where it's too close where a stupid call determines the game, right? They're going to be coming out, and Italy will play you straight up. They'll box to a degree, but if you get one early, it's going to be the same thing with Canada. You get 1 or 2 early, they're going to have to break that box, and that's when you can take advantage of them,
Yeah, I mean, you see the way that they played against Chinese Taipei. They're just a running gun type of, like, they play smart hockey, right?
Yeah.
But they're running gun. The difference between watching Czech and the United States, Czech does this, like, mid-court regroup. They don't go behind the net, which, dude, I love that. Obviously, USA comes behind the net kind of more, just swings out for that, fast breakout. That has that ice style, just mid-court breakout and then goes, which is cool. Yeah, Italy versus USA. This is 2 completely different type of teams, and I think that's what makes it hard for both ends to adjust. So, in this one, obviously, being USA, we're going to want USA to win, but I can see this game being USA wins 4-2, I would say 4-1. I just say that they do get a goal just because it's the home crowd and they're probably going to be, how it is.
And when they get one, they'll get some momentum. They might get 2. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like But I think with how Reds and Chinny are, and I don't know who's going to play that game because they've been going every other.
Mhm.
And I know
I
that
say
game for a
Chinny would
little
play that
longer.
game, I think,
Yeah, I
right?
feel like Chinny's going to get the game. But you never know. Like they're both of them have played at the international scale. Both of them have had success at the international level. So really, you could throw any one of them in net, and it's not going to matter. But I know, like when we played Italy, they did split the game with the goalies because the goalies started getting a little gas. Now USA is not giving up a ton of looks, so I don't know how tired the guys are, but it'd be interesting to see who's in net for them. And I think I agree with the USA. I think it's going to be like a 4-2, 5-2 game. But I think USA is on a mission, and I think honestly the Canada game helps them for this semifinal game because Canada didn't just box it up and pack it in like
Yeah.
every other team has done. They've played a little more of a roller hockey style game, which allows
And you
USA
could
to kind
tell
of get a little more stuff.
Canada was getting under their skin too, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you got the Vilio brothers on there, of course. They're lunatics, so
Exactly. Yeah, these guys were running
they're
out there.
gonna kill me the next time I play them. These are gonna kill me.
Uh, we probably do. I bet you the real ones don't hate us from Canada, but there's some
Yeah.
Canadians that probably want to fucking kill us. Like,
Yeah, it's all right.
yeah,
Listen. At the end of the day, it's not just the feedback or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's a simple question of like, what's going on, right? Like we've been asking it for years at this point, and nobody's going to talk. And now people want to talk about it. Everyone's talking about it. So
yeah,
we
everybody's
just
talking about it.
Everyone's talking about it. We brought
Everybody's talking about why Pablo's the coach of Team Canada and he's from Brazil.
that was probably the biggest response we got. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so USA, I think they win that game handily. I think it will be closer just because of the home court advantage Italy has. Either way, they play any goalie, Chinny or Reds. I see them playing Chinny and then Reds playing against Czech. Just how it's gone, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what they did at the last World Games event too. So if I'm correct, so and I know when we did Argentina, Clay and Keith split a lot of the games just because it was so hot though. Like the dudes were losing so much water weight, even just standing there with all the gear on, like it was so damn hot. So it'll be interesting. I think Chinny will play, and again, like both of them are Class A goaltenders. So like, who cares who's in that, right? Like
Exactly.
So I just hope, obviously from being from the United States, I'm pulling for USA and hoping that they get some revenge for the or for the semifinal loss a couple years ago. So.
Yeah, well, let's go USA. Those games will be on worldskate.tv on Saturday, September 21st. Is that right? Yep.
Gonna be a good one. Yeah. So it looks like the one game is that it's kind of messed up. USA's been playing a ton of late games in Italy.
There.
It's
Yeah.
a 10-10 game there. So that kind of sucks. But for us, at least at home, it's actually a little easier to watch. Like on the East Coast, it's 4:10 our time. So it's not too bad. It's when guys are just getting out of work, especially on a Saturday. Definitely going to be a good day of roller to watch.
Yeah. So a couple questions we're going to go over. We already talked about Namibia. Yep. One person wants to talk about how this sport organization that's called Canada Inline. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Last one too. Somebody had a question, and I'm just going to pull it up here. Is they want us to talk about Barry Needler's NERC stats. So.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna look up Barry Needler's NERC stats real quick, and we're gonna go over it. What teams he play on?
He's on Advocate Athlete.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Barry Needler. Let's see his points. Damn. And 3 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. Guys.
Now, mind you, I was in net for one of those games, and I'm a decent goalie, but like I had what happened is I had like 2 good saves on him in the beginning, and then he had like 5 on me after that. So, but and he didn't actually show up last night. I think someone wore his jersey, but he got checked out. But yeah, Barry Needler's stats. I mean, people are questioning if he can actually skate with the ankle team. There's been some comments out there, so we got to get him on because not even like he's like he knows so many people. It's crazy.
Yeah, he always like sends me random messages of people.
Yeah, who like, yo, you know Glover, and I'm like, how do you know Glover? Like, yeah, roller hockey. How the fuck do you know him? You know, him and Johnny Waring are like, don't get those two in a room together. There's two. So.
All right, boys. Well, hope you like a little recap of the quarterfinals going into the semifinals for the World Skate Games, presented by Roller Dad News, the best podcast you could ever hear for roller hockey and hockey, pretty much. There's no one covers the sport like we do. You know, other people can try to. They're posting, posts of summer hockey still when it's World Skate going on. It is what it is. But we're here to, we're here to bring you the news. And hope you like the episode. See you on the next one for the championship recap.
Oh yeah.